Yeah! And howdy to my cowboys and ladies. Saddle up and buckle down, because this case is about to have y'all's chaps in a twist.
I'm Sheriff Jed.
I'm Buckaroo Bo.
And I'm Sleepy.
Welcome to Murders Around America, where we ride y'all through the untold and wild cold cases around here parts in America and talk about what in tarnation is going down. Now, I got a question for all y'all listeners. Do you know travel safety, especially out there in the wild? Well, down here in Washington, Stephen Hawking and Ruth Cooper face them sad and unfortunate reasons why we come out and teach y'all youngins ways to stay safe in dangerous rodeos.
Now, where do we even begin with this case? It's crazier than my mom's pa's uncle's brother.
First, we can start where this case begins. Pierce County down in Washington. Cooper and Hawkins decided to take a little trip to a campsite in Tool Lake, which sits next to a forest. And if y'all know anything about them forests down in Washington, they'd be crazy huge.
Well, I'll be a mole rat. Brother, uncle. Alright, so let's talk about this first murder down in Pierce County, Washington. So basically, back in August in 1985, 42-year-old Ruth Cooper and her 27-year-old boyfriend, Stephen Hawkins, decided to go on a little camping trip, alright? Now, they went down camping in Pierce County, and then days later, Hawkins was found dead inside his sleeping bag, shot in the forehead. Their dog was also shot and killed. Now, that's crazy, because if y'all know anything about dogs, they're like people persons, right?
Right.
So, and if y'all ever had a pet dog, it's even more than...
Right.
They just be loving up on people, so that's crazy someone would go and shoot one.
That is crazy someone would go and shoot one.
But anywho, 2 months later, hunters then located Ruth Cooper's remains about a mile and a half away. She had been shot in the abdomen and had a white tube sock tied around her neck. And that's why I think they call them the tube sock murders.
A tube sock?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of them long things that go up your leg. Yes, I know, right? Now, I don't know about y'all, but being killed by a tube sock, that just seems wild, don't it?
That's
crazy. Yeah. Now,
Wait, did they kill them with the socks?
no, that's the thing. We don't really know at this point. No, we have some theories, but I think something about Murders Around America that we really have a pride and joy in is the fact that we take apart the theories and we make our own conclusions. Right. Okay, now, there also was a second murder back in December in 1985. Now, this is the same year, so I'm pretty sure y'all think of what I'm thinking. These have to be connected.
It's only 5 months apart.
Yeah, these have to be connected. That's right, Sweet Pea. Now, let's talk about this second murder before we talk about all the things that we think had gone down. Now, this time, the victims were 36-year-old Mike Remer and 21-year-old Diana Robertson, along with their toddler. Oh my gosh, their baby daughter.
A toddler?
Isn't that a little
Crystal.
too young?
Crystal.
I know, she's just a baby. Oh my goodness. Good Lord, this case has me in my wraps. Now, let's talk about the incident.
What happened?
So, the family went looking for a Christmas tree.
A Christmas tree?
Oh my
Christmas
goodness.
tree?
Right around Christmas. Can you believe something?
No.
The nerve on some of these people. Bless them
During
hearts.
Christmas
I
time.
know. But they were looking for a Christmas tree in the woods near the Nisqually River. Now,
That's also a forest.
yeah,
Like camping.
So either this murderer, this little sociopath here, is either really into forests and nature, or he just in it for the tube socks. So I feel my head can't wrap around the fact that they had tube socks around their necks. And they have to be pretty thick ones too if they were going to be killed with them.
Wait, there were tube socks in this case too?
I'm about to get to that. Later in the evening, 2-year-old Crystal was found wandering alone. Oh, thank the Lord in the heavens, this kid was not murdered.
Oh my God.
By that dog. Oh my goodness. Now, she was found wandering along at a Kmart parking lot in Spanaway.
A parking lot in Spanaway?
Do we know how far apart Nisqually and Spanaway is? Can we
Isn't
look
that
that
like
up? Can we
pretty
look
far?
that up? Because I think a toddler child nonetheless, wandering around.
How could a child do that?
Girl, that maybe she had help. And oh my goodness, I'm just reading
It is
this now.
20.7 miles.
I ain't even gonna don't drive that
miles. 20.7 miles.
Oh my goodness. Now it says that she was asking about her mother and she simply told her grandmother, Mama's in the trees.
Mama's in the tree.
That is just creepy. I would not want to go around there.
Oh my gosh. I'm just reading this now. 2 months later, Diana's body was found in the snow. She had been stabbed 17 times and a tube sock was tied around her neck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, these tube socks crazy.
It all makes sense now.
They best not be white because that blood gonna get anywhere and God knows it's not gonna come out.
Now, Mike Ramirez's truck was found nearby with blood inside and a note written on a, what does that say? A manila. Oh my gosh, a manila envelope reading, I love you, Diane.
Girl, but what happened to Mike? What happened to Mike?
Wait.
Blood in his truck. Oh my gosh. Now, we all know that interior is way too expensive for that.
Wait, was Mike dead?
No, that's the thing. I think the recovery only states in the document where the overview of this case is found. It doesn't quite say, but research that we have done, and actually, before we go into research, what y'all think? Like, what is this?
I think
Crazy.
I think they need to be more safe. I think they need to have self-defense weapons.
These Washingtonians need to get them heads out of their coffee, because, oh my lord, these cases just have me up in a nerve.
Ding ding baby, my name might be Sweet Pea, but this sir ain't. This foe been belly aching in the bar. The fella was all hot and no cattle. This P ain't stand for none of that, sir. I lost my 2 front teeth, but you should have seen the other guy. If you didn't have my trusty self-defense device, bear mace for bar fights, a really good bearmace.org, I may have lost more than my 2 front teeth. If your name is Big Billy down in the Wild West, stop the yellow belly and tender feet and fight me like a grown bull.
Alrighty, Sweet Pea. Let's not get too big for your britches now. There ain't nothing bitter about a little spout of mustard, but a mouthful sure will bite your behind.
Now, I think it's important that we start off with, why do we think these two cases are connected?
Right. I mean, both crimes happened in the same part of Washington, and they both involved people in, woods.
And the tube socks. I mean, if there is one thing to kill a person with, my mind does not travel on to tube socks.
We did say earlier they didn't die from the tube socks, though.
It was just wrapping around their head.
It was just wrapped around.
Now, were they decapitated and maybe they just want to stop the blood flow? But honestly, if you're dead, then I don't get the point in saving all the blood, especially if you're not going to use it later.
Sweet Pea, what do you think about it?
I think, remember in Home Alone where the two bandits, they go around into different counties?
Yeah.
And how they switch from Chicago, was it, to New York?
All right,
And
sticky
they're-
bandits.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
The criminals.
I see where we're going, Sweet Pea. They just wanted to have a trade. That makes sense. Now, they didn't choose no-show. They didn't choose no ankle. It was a tube sock specifically so that they could wrap it around their necks.
Right. Another thing is that it seems like they had to be really familiar with the woods to be able to know this. I mean, both victims were found in isolated areas in deep wooden locations. So that really makes us think, what do we know about Mike? Because he wasn't found, and he was the only one involved in the case besides the daughter.
Now, do we know if he's still missing? Do we know if he's still missing?
I don't know that.
I don't mean to pour my iced tea too quickly, but Mike seems like he could have had maybe some relevancy in this. You hear what I'm saying?
Mike might be the killer?
Now, I'm not saying he might have killed.
Wait, guys.
Oh, what do we got here? What do we got? I'm sitting down, girl.
2011, hackers found a skull near Mineral, Washington, about a mile away from where Diana Robertson's body had. A dental record confirmed that the remains did belong to Mike.
Dang, so next time I go to the dentist, make sure they keep them tabs on me real good. Because
Right.
this could help in the future.
So that means they couldn't even prove if he was a victim, a killer, like if he did anything of that sort, just because it was so long after.
Well, I mean, if they found his skull, if I had to pick a way to go, it would not be decapitation. I can tell you that. I want to keep my head where it sits, perfectly fine, neat, and pretty. Is there any other theories that we have here?
Well, it seems like all the targets were super vulnerable.
No, because we had a dog, we had an kind of older-ish couple. I don't want to be rude, but they're kind of a little bit older. And then we have this parents of a young child. Imagine going camping. Not only is that stressful enough, but you gotta go camping with a toddler. Oh my goodness, I'll just be shaking in my boots. No.
Or the killer may have just driven around searching for isolated people.
But
he have to know them woods pretty good.
Right. So
He'd
that
have to be
goes with our
wandering.
first theory that they really know. So that makes you think, were these folks specifically targeted, or were they just both really unlucky?
Now, I don't know if y'all seen them horror movies, but usually it's the least expected people. So maybe someone living around the area. But we also got to keep in mind that these were in multiple forests here.
Right.
We go from this squally, Pierce County, and then Spanaway. That's crazy. These got to be either connected, or they just got to be some sporadical thing going on.
Also, what about that letter?
You read the letter because he had to know. He had to have some kind of theory up in his head that it was his time to go soon.
Right. Well, also, the letter said, "I love you, Diana."
But do we know that he wrote that? Was that his handwriting?
don't.
Oh my goodness, guys. We are so smart.
We are so smart.
Do you guys think that the murderer stalked his victims?
I think he did.
But also, if we're really thinking about this, I mean, these two couples don't have any connections together in the past or in the present when they got their ending cut too short,
I feel like they know each other, though. Because here's the thing. He was stabbed 17 times.
That's a little aggressive.
Right. And overkill/stabbing could indicate emotion or rage. 17 times feels excessive.
Or, sometimes they say that when a killer goes on a spree, they're getting on their own aggression out. It's they're in it. You know what I'm saying? They desire that kill. They sleep. Oh my Lord, yeah. Yes.
This is so disturbing. What about Sweet Pea? You got any more?
Ring a ding ding. I think there's something that you want to say, Sweet Pea.
Maybe one killer copied ideas from the earlier case after hearing about
But are we tube socks cool for school? Are we thinking that?
I mean, but if someone wants to end up at the news, they got to think of something to do. So would they copy someone?
Would that be a good strategy? If you don't want to get caught as a killer, just steal someone else's idea so then they think that it's linked to the other person?
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, but I would never do that. But
I'm not saying I can't nobody. Oh, heck no.
This might turn into a different podcast if we're not careful.
Oh no, girl, you don't worry about nothing.
Let's calm down, or else this is gonna turn into a bar fight again.
Sweet Pea, you ain't want to go on one of those. You only got a couple more teeth left to lose.
But that is a great point, though, because some people maybe think these similarities might just be coincidences, and others might think someone took inspiration from that August when the December one happened.
Yeah, true. Now, let's talk about the disturbing aspects. Mama's in the tree.
Yeah, what does that
What's going on there?
I don't
Oh
even
my
know.
goodness.
I mean, it came from a toddler.
Yeah, that's just... And do we know exactly how old she was? We said that...
I think she was
What is he
She was a toddler, so I'm
what
thinking
about the daughter?
I thought we were talking about the mother.
Was 2 years old.
Girl, that's a couple years off being an infant.
I know. And she told her mother, "Mommy's in the trees." I mean, what does that even mean?
But then she was found in the snow. So either she was she fell or
She saw something.
she
Might have seen her parents be stabbed.
That's a good one.
and she but that makes me think on if this is the same killer, why would they leave the toddler? Why would they leave her?
Right. That's Maybe they just because they killed the dog. They
They didn't have no mercy for that puppy dog. But maybe she wandered from Nisqually to Spanaway. That is over 20 miles. Now, what if the killer didn't know there was no toddler? I mean, there had to be signs. They had to have their stuff. But the parents, as they were getting to their far too soon ending,
Right.
they decided to hide the child and then make her get to safety and sacrifice themselves.
Right.
Or at least Diana.
Right.
Or do you guys think that they had a relationship and he liked the kid?
Sweet Pea, what we talking about? Girl, you don't have to expand.
Like, what if he knew the victims?
Oh, okay. I get it.
Girl, you have me scared for a lawsuit. Yeah.
After this bar fight, bro.
It's okay, Sweet Pea.
She gets knocked in the head a little too hot
I
sometimes.
know. It's okay though.
Yeah, we love you, Sweet Pea.
Yeah, but then let's go back to that dog being killed. I mean, people are like the killer wanted 0 witnesses, but then supposedly the killer let the daughter, but then killed the dog.
That's the thing.
Right. So is this even the same person?
And also, if this got crazy or what? Because last time I checked, dogs can't talk none what English. So maybe it was one of them like service dogs or one of them super smart hacking dogs, and like it would have pointed to him, or it would have or a trap.
Or like bloodhound, like
a bloodhound.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, what ties this back so strong is the tube sock.
No, we got to keep going right back to these tube socks.
Right.
This crazy.
Called the tube sock case, so we have to touch on it. But like, they weren't the same person. Why did they both use tube socks to tie around their necks? Yeah. I mean, it's just like, was it restraining? Was it staging? Yeah.
Were they both like headless at this point? Do we know? Do we know if they were headless? Because that's what I'm thinking is maybe the killer didn't want them blood to spill out everywhere.
No, I don't think they were headless, but I think what you're thinking about is how Mike's skull was discovered completely separately.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
But investigators did not report the victims, as being decapitated. But that's a great question.
It's just funky then. This case just got me in a twist. I mean, we know Murder on America gonna get crazy, but this is just terrifying. Yeah, well, this roadie's on its finale, and we're gonna stop the wobbling jaw. This is Murder on America. We're catching on 67.9, Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever y'all be listening from. Remember, never approach a bull from the front, a horse from the rear, or a fool from any direction.